Hey Pisces, and welcome to your December 2017 General Tarot Forecast. This is Sky here to give you guys hopefully another amazing reading for your month ahead. And I actually really like what I'm seeing for you guys. Even though you have some of the heavier archetypes like Nine of Wands and Ten of Swords, you have a lot of really good energy as well, and a lot of really positive emotional evolutions I feel like happening for you. And ultimately I feel like your experience is very eccentric in December. I think that there are a lot of different sectors of your life which are changing and which are giving you a lot of new reactions that maybe you've never really experienced before. I do feel like you're leveling up in some kind of way. I think that what might have made you sad or angry or distressed before now makes you feel motivated or now makes you feel inspired, because it seems like you're really transmuting emotional pain into something that is good for everybody. You guys are really, your energy is much better than a lot of other signs right now, and I think that we're all kind of learning from you in some kind of way. This is a month where you guys can experience new love, or for single Pisces, you can finally meet your soulmate or finally meet your twin flame. You guys have Two of Cups and Six of Cups in your reading, which often represent coming into contact with very, very pivotal people. Even if it's not necessarily love relationships, you get a lot of physical manifestations of very important karmic experiences, usually through people with that type of energy here. You guys are letting go of something very big this month. You do have Ten of Swords here. You're one of the only signs to have Ten of Swords. I feel like other signs would actually be better off if they had that energy, because it sort of takes away a desire to not let go. Although you guys do have it reversed, so it can be read that way, you at least have the archetype to work with. Whatever you've been needing to let go of, whatever you've been needing to disconnect from really strongly, you have much better ability to do that here. I feel like this is a positive benefit of Jupiter and Scorpio coming in for you guys, because I've been saying that Jupiter and Scorpio makes it easier to let go of things. It makes it easier for things to die off, because Scorpio is ruling of death and rebirth, and Jupiter expands everything that it goes into. So it would make sense that death and rebirth would be expanded during this time. And I really feel like you're in the midst of that cycle during December. There could be some difficult decisions to come up. You guys have Two of Pentacles, Four of Pentacles, and the other aforementioned cards, which do relate oftentimes to not feeling like there's a really great way to solve this problem. Because there is a problem for every zodiac sign right now. It's not specific to Pisces or specific to any sign, but humanity is very much involved in crisis and problems and the need to solve problems right now. But at the same time, there's not really a wonderful solution. So this is kind of something that is being experienced by all signs, and one of the reasons I do my channel, and perhaps why some people might consider me a negative reader, it's because the reality is that humanity is really involved in a difficult cycle right now, where the past, old problems, old relationships, experiences that have already happened are creating cycles in a way that they never really have, or in a way that common societies or more contemporary humanity has not experienced. So I'm kind of here to help you guys navigate that, but for you guys, you're the pinnacle of that. You are the end of that as well, and because you guys may very well come out of the other end of December with a completely new relationship to this type of thing, with a completely new relationship to endings and rebirth, and understanding some of the tantric cycles, and I want to say inspiring levels that you reach through this process, because I think that we've really associated endings and even new beginnings, which inevitably come with endings, to be something that is a negative experience or difficult. And perhaps some tarot readers, including myself sometimes, can reinforce that, when in reality it is an important thing which needs to be celebrated. So if you, Pisces, can celebrate this month here in December, and you can manifest and materialize in December something much more powerful, much more strong for the future, through celebrating the process of dying off or purging or pruning dead leaves off of yourself, you will set yourself up for an amazing experience ahead. But anyway, I want to go ahead and get into the week to week and see what's coming up for you guys. Week number 1, you guys have Two of Pentacles reversed, due to down by Nine of Wands reversed. Most specifically, this feels like career changes or decisions which need to be made about your career or what you do for money. it feels like it could be difficult to balance your love life and your career, or it could be difficult to balance your family and your business. But it feels possible. It feels like it's more possible than you realize, and that you're very close. It's like you're not realizing how close you are to achieving a goal or achieving what you've wanted to with this endeavor that you've been on. Nine of Wands reversed has to do with almost being there, but wanting to give up, wanting to let go too soon. So you're definitely dealing with that balance too. I've been talking about in this reading the process of letting go and how you need to celebrate that. At the same time, it's important to not do it preemptively, and it's important for it not to become an addiction. You know, the process of either sabotaging yourself or making yourself not experience endings or closure, because closure is really important. There's something about closure that's really emphasized for Pisces. Maybe through having caught on to this phenomenon that I'm talking about, you think, okay, I can just let go of everything, or I can live my life with no kind of connection to any kind of past experience of myself, when that's not really the process either. It's about allowing this energy in and celebrating it when it comes naturally. So finding that balance will be really important. And you seem to be faced very specifically with that in the first week, and it will probably come out in something relating to your work or relating to your family ties or love relationships. In the second week, you guys have Queen of Wands reversed, rooted down by 10 of Swords reversed. You could feel betrayed by a feminine fire sign type of energy, Sagittarius, Aries, or Leo. You could feel like you have to let go of that person. You could feel like you have to end the relationship with that person. And it's not always going to be like female fire signs. It could be anybody really who has these types of tendencies or other parts of their chart. It feels like you might be being taken advantage of or being stabbed in the back through the guise of something really nice, or through being led to believe that people are on your side. It's actually kind of a betrayal in some way. So definitely see all the layers of your relationships with everybody in your life, honestly, and think about who makes you feel authentic, who makes you feel real right now, because it may not be who you think it is. That's another thing that humanity has been going through right now. It's sort of dealing with people who at first may not seem like the best being your biggest allies, and people who may seem very comfortable being your saboteur type of energy. So that feels really strong for you in the second week. And it may also be important, I'm feeling, to not limit yourself very specifically to one thing. I feel like you guys have been really eccentric lately, or you've been doing a lot of things. Maybe you've had like the 9-to-5 job, you're starting a new business, maybe you're expecting a child, or starting a new relationship, or like all of this at once. And it's going to be important to continue at least into the beginning of 2018 with a lot of layers to your goals and aspirations in life. It's not so good when Pisces gets really, really hyper-focused on one thing, because you guys are immutable water energy, which needs a constant fluid turnover, I want to say, of experiences and wants and goals. It's not to say that you can't focus in, or that you can't do one thing really well. You can, but it usually comes through this, and it usually happens on its own. Like if you're having to try really hard to discern or discriminate or understand more specifically like what is the best option for you, and choosing that and only doing that, it's not so good. However, if you're doing a lot of things and then all of a sudden you become completely enveloped in one thing without even realizing it, that's good. So try to continue to allow yourself a lot of options of life, because if you get too pigeonholed right now, it feels like you might be setting up cycles of betrayal. It feels like there's a connection there to me. Third week, you guys have 2 of Cups. You're down by Page of Cups. This is beautiful. Okay, I'm so proud to see this energy for somebody, because that's so strongly soulmate type of energy. For those of you who are single, or even those of you who are coupled, you can really come into contact with your soulmate during this time. Or somebody who means the world to you. It's not always in this type of cycle going to be a love relationship, because love relationships don't work that well right now, and they won't for a little while. I can't really put a specific date on it, but through most of Jupiter and Scorpio, love relationships, even if they're wonderful, or if they're like small flings that feel like they're like a Titanic type of thing, that can happen, but it doesn't tend to last, and it doesn't tend to hold up after the energy changes. So in that way, you kind of have to be careful of who you're investing in during this time, but it feels like you might have that experience, like you might have almost like a movie type of experience of love starting up in the third week of December. And I feel like a really strong message you have to take with this is that closure is found during the best moments of a relationship. And that's something that I have learned throughout this last year of doing this YouTube channel and through working with people. I found that, like, if you're seeking closure after a relationship has ended, 99% of times, there's a very rare type of people that can still do it, but 99% of time with the majority of people, you have to find your closure in the relationship and in the best moments. Through the best moments, through the most wonderful moments, you have to be able to let go within that. Otherwise, you never really can, if you're relying on it, like after the relationship ends tragically and you search for your closure then. Not to really put a damper onto that lovely energy that you have in the third week, but as you start to have these wonderful experiences as Pisces that you're going to be having over 2018, starting here, I really feel like starting in the third week of December, the next year will be wonderful in a lot of ways, but you just have to make sure that you don't build yourself up in a way that you have to have that, because it doesn't always last and it doesn't always keep up in that momentum. And sometimes you can hurt yourself the most by having a wonderful experience of life, because when that ends, what is left can sometimes change your spectrum of feeling, because or what you experience changes your spectrum, because what may have once felt normal to you may start to feel bad given how wonderful things may become. So definitely keep your, I want to say, grounding during this time. And even if you're having wonderful experiences, stay in tune with reality and stay in tune with what normal is for you and what niceness can be, because it's going to be wonderful and it's going to be beautiful. It just may not be forever. And that's just the double-edged sword of Pisces. And it can be wonderful forever, but only within you. It has to be wonderful, because Pisces has this amazing ability within the self, within their cells, to have love and experience and wonderful, nice tones and palettes of life always. But when it's like that, it's hard for that to be reflected in other people. And my point is that experiencing wonderfulness from other people may not last forever, but it will happen over the next year. So just prepare yourself for having that and not having that. You could be meeting them in the third week. Fourth week, you guys have Four of Pentacles rooted down by King of Pentacles reversed. It could be an earth sign that you're meeting, or a water sign. You really have to let go of something in December. It's like, in order to start this cycle of amazing, beautiful experiences, you have to let go of a reliance on old cycles of pain. Pisces can be a bit pain addicted sometimes, because you realize that through pain, you transmute love and happiness and thrust of life energy. So that's wonderful, but you have to come into a place here and now where you no longer need that type of experience, or you no longer need pain for thrust of life energy. And it makes sense. I mean, you've got that 10 of Swords and 4 of Pentacles, which both have to do with holding on to something and sort of the cycle of that being taken away, or choosing to let go of it. Choose to let go before it's taken away, I feel like, is good advice here. That's rooted down by King of Pentacles reversed. So some of you might be dealing with masculine Taurus, Capricorn, or Virgo energy, and maybe wanting to divorce that or remove yourself from that because that person is falling out of favor with you. As it relates to yourself, as I feel the court cards also can be parts of our personality, it's the part of yourself that needs money or needs tangible things to establish your worth. Not a very Piscean trait, so that might be coming in other parts of your chart, but it's humanity, like we're all human. So you're really seeing past the part of yourself that is very money-centric or very resource-centric, and you're seeing past it in a way, perhaps through the eyes of somebody else, or perhaps through new relationships that start with other people. And anything that's bad this month is completely mirrored by something double as wonderful in the future, Pisces. I can't really say much bad for you guys, and I kind of don't like to make anything negative, although it can be hard with the tarot, because the tarot gives both, it gives positives and negatives. Energy and physics are started in the positive and negative energetic fields and spectrums, so it just sort of shows life in that way. So it can be hard to give a tarot reading without talking about something a little bit difficult. Your central theme, though, is Six of Cups, so you might be meeting someone from your past, or whoever you meet is going to feel like you've known your whole life, which should be a wonderful phenomenon to experience right now. as you, I feel, meet somebody new who you feel like you've known your whole life. So congratulations to you guys. I kind of want to end the reading on that note. Things are beautiful and things will be beautiful over the next year through letting go of what you need to now and grounding yourself in reality that wonderful starts within yourself. Anyway, if you guys would like to book a private reading with me and understand more about this or where you're coming from or how to let go of these energies, you can click the center of your screen now. Also, it's so appreciated if you guys would subscribe to my channel and click the notification bell. It would be a wonderful Christmas present to me. You can also check out my Patreon page or the playlist to see your sun, moon, rising sign. Much love, and I'll talk to you guys in January. Bye.